We're gonna go back to the end of the ground. Come this way. Jump in through here. Do a little backdash action. I believe I want the horse. Yep. Yeah, sticking with that bloody zombie. Now we can make our way back to where we were. Oops. Come on. There we go. Look over him. Now, one thing we probably could have done is, with the wolf, once you have enough speed with the wolf, as you run into things, you actually do damage, but we don't have enough room to really pick up the speed with it. Slide back. Perfecto. Let's go down. There we go. Now he's here.
I'll take you to a place which might be interesting for you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Ferryman. Alright, so the tough thing about here is don't jump, because those bats are there purposely to screw you up. In fact, sometimes what I recommend doing is crouching the whole way so that nothing accidentally hits you and knocks you off. Because if you fall off the ferryman's boat before you can withstand water damage, you're not going to have a fun time. Perfect. So over here we get the merman statue. And that is a relic, so if we look at it, we'll see it summons the oarsman. What they mean is the ferryman. And the reason we need that is, if you remember, there was that other body of water that I said, hey, we can't cross right now, we gotta come back in a little bit. That's where we're going next, where the icy area was. Where I busted the hole in the floor. Because now, the ferryman will show up there. See, that's why I recommend ducking. Or you could spam axes, but I mean, it's a little not worth it. Kind of wasteful. Make the jump. Perfect. I actually don't think we can get back up, huh? I think we actually gotta go the long way around. Alright, we gotta make the long way around, so I'm going to cut it here, and I'll meet you guys back towards the other area that I said we need the ferryman for. Alright, so I'm back here after going all the way around. And now we can drop down here, take out that frozen shade. Take out that frozen shade too. And look who's here.
I'll guide you to meet your destiny.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So yeah, this I definitely recommend ducking because, number one, because of that. And number two, if you duck at just the right spot, none of these bats will hit you. And you might get distracted and be, oh, what's that? I should have jumped and got. Don't worry, we're gonna get all of it in just a second. Just ignore everything, stay crouched, duck the bats, duck the cavern. I don't know why he doesn't have to duck, but yeah. All right, so come this way. Ignore that little pool, jump over it, keep going here. and we come to a snorkel called the Holy Symbol. And what this allows us to do is, it says protection while underwater, but basically we can resist water damage. And you might wonder, why is Alucard even hurt by water anyway? Well, it's actually based on, you know, like folkloric weaknesses of vampires. One of them is that vampires are hurt by running water. So, I guess they thought it was a cool idea to have in this game that, bit my tongue, to have in this game that Alucard, because he's a, you know, half vampire, would take damage from running water. And also, vampires couldn't cross moving water unless there were ways around it, like in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Although, that's one of those things that, like, sometimes you can put in vampire stuff, sometimes you don't need to. Why can't I make this jump? There we go. You know, that's one of those things that sometimes shows up in vampire stuff, sometimes it doesn't. You know, you're not obligated to use all the rules of a creature all the time. You know, if you were, like, there'd be no room for creativity. You know, like, if you want to have a Medusa that you can look at without turning to stone, and instead it shoots laser beams out of her eyes that turn you to stone instead, go for it, man. Who am I to stop you? You do you. You make your own fun fantasy things. You know. Hey, ice cream. Delicious. Another food item that I'll probably never use. Alright. So now that we can withstand the water damage, we're going to go back over here and actually explore those underwater areas from before. Like there, so we can go get those items, which is one of my favorite weapons for this point in the game. And one of the only two-handed weapons I like. So we drop down, and check the map frequently while you're doing this, so you can make sure that you're filling all of it in, because sometimes, especially when you're underwater, it can be a little wonky. Also, try to block the missiles from these things. It's a little awkward because they aren't synchronized when they shoot. There we go. I take out the fish head. The enemies underwater are going to give you quite a nice amount of experience too, which is always nice. Oh! I forgot that some of them, when you're close like that, they do like the big breath, the big fire breath. That hurt. That was actually rather painful. So we get the nunchaku, which if you look at it are actually a pair of tonfas. And that's a translation error. But pretty much you do 2 attacks. The only downside is you don't have a shield. So what I'm going to do against this guy... There we go. Let's soul steal him. See, that's how useful soul steal can be, man. It gave me back, like, twice my health. So useful. So yeah, the nunchaku in this game, it's a pretty fun weapon. Like I said, technically tonfas. And I'm not hitting the attack button twice when I swing it, by the way. It just attacks twice like that. Well, I can stand on this? That's news to me. Learn something new every day, I guess. There we go. I'd rather just kill these guys with soul steal. Especially because I don't have a shield to block their projectiles. But the nice thing about the tonfa, so in the air the tonfa only attacks once. But when even when you're crouched, it's very useful. And also the nice thing about it is the second attack will always hit down like that when you're crouched. So it pretty much has like double the attack speed that you would normally get. Now you can also, I should have mentioned this earlier, you can actually, if you want, equip one weapon in each hand, and if you're good at spamming buttons, you can mash, you know, attack button 1, attack button 2, back and forth, and do double the attacks. I just don't like to do that because I'm lazy. And also, I'm getting my ass kicked right now, so we are going to... There we go. Pop another soul steal there. Make sure we're filling in that map, too. Come down here. Get the life max up. And it might be like, well, Mitch, how do we get the things under the wooden bridge? Don't worry, you'll find that out maybe soon. I don't actually think I can reach that area yet. But we will come back there. We're going to come back for everything. So if you see us, you know, missing things, don't worry. There you go. Pentagram. We got it. So yeah, I can't make that jump yet, but that's where you would need to go. Oh, but what I should mention is with the wolf, you can actually swim. You can do like a doggy paddle with the wolf. Now that we're not harmed by the water. We can also now finally go through here. Take out that frozen shade. Get another life max up. Always good to have lots of HP. There's no such thing as too much HP. What the hell was that word? There's no such thing as too much HP. And now we can just fall in there. Who cares if we fall in there or not? Not a big deal. Continue on this way. We're gonna jump over him. You can land on his boat, he'll just start taking you to the other side. No sense in really doing it though, because who cares if he does that or not. One thing we do want to do though is actually if you land on this and then you jump and you slash, you can get 2,000 just like that. And then also let us fill in that little gap that we're missing too, that's important. Alright, you gotta be careful for the killer fish, because he hits like a truck. So that's another thing that you may have just noticed with the killer fish, is your weapons actually, some of them have a hitbox behind you, which is kind of cool. So the nunchaku are one of them. I think most of the swords have that too. Oh, come on. There we go. We're doing fine. Alright. So we got that area filled in. That's pretty much all we can do underground for right now. The next area we're going to go to is the Marble Gallery. See, all he does is take you back, but I don't really care about that. What I want is to actually land here. That way I can get another 2,000, just like that. Oh, alright, well we gotta wait until that comes back. Which is fine. There we go. The nice thing is there's no like water current that pulls you back and can cause you to miss that jump over there or fall back down after you get up, because that would be annoying. So, what would be the best way there? Would actually, the fastest way would actually be keep going this way. So yeah, we're gonna go back to the Marble Gallery into the room with the clocks. And one key thing you might notice, I haven't used it, so you probably didn't even notice I had it, is I have a stopwatch, which is, you know, a sub-weapon that you can actually find in a couple of places. The Marble Gallery is one of them. I actually think we actually can't go this way. I just remember we don't have a way back up there. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, the marble gallery, we're going back there with the stopwatch. Stopwatch works just how it does in other Castlevania games. Freezes enemies in place. Doesn't really work on bosses. I think there's a couple bosses that might be susceptible to it, but don't quote me on that. There's a couple of different areas you can get it. One of them is like 2 rooms away from the clock room. Going to the right. So like, you leave the room with the clocks, you go into the room with all the room with the big clock, you go into the room to the right with the small little clocks, then you go 2 more rooms over, and one of those candles in there is going to have a stopwatch. And you can grab it there. So let's make our way back. Ignore these zombies. We got a little bit of trekking to do. Actually, it might be shorter if we take the portal shortcut. Yeah, get used to a lot of backtracking like this when you play any Metroidvania. That's just the nature of the genre. There we go. Dark Metamorphosis. Oh, yep, see, I guess it only works when you hit them with slashing weapons. The blood splatter from those guys. Yep, this is where I want to be. And again, if you don't want to follow what I'm doing, an alternative place to go at this point would be you could go to the library. However, you're only going to be able to get so far in the library. You're going to have to go to where I'm going anyway. So I just like to go where I'm going anyway regardless. Whoops. Nice try, Donkey Kong. Oh, why did I do that? Get that. It's only a coin, but hey, every cent counts. Remember what I told you, kids. Don't leave money lying around. Or the skeleton. I know I keep checking the map, but also that's because I have terrible short-term memory. I'm gonna go down, come this way. Keep going this way. Oh, no. What am I doing? Yeah, make sure you keep the stopwatch. You're going to need it. Although, if you're going back this way, you're going to pass the room with the stopwatch where you can pick it up. Oh, and also, if you do enough damage to the stone rose, it does that. You didn't get to see that before. And honestly, if the stone rose is really pissing you off, one thing you can always do is teleport past it. Nice 250 right there. Take out the Amphibian or Diplocephalus. Which I think that's just a word that they made up. I don't even think that's a creature. There we go. Apologies for the, I lived right next to, like, a main road, so all the time there's, like, people with these loud, obnoxious cars that drive by. And there's one dude who I talked about another Let's Play, the one I did with JD, for Super Smash Bros. Was, at some point I brought it up. There's, like, a dude who has a, he bought, like, one of those classic cars, but he didn't repair the muffler, so it just, like, explodes every time he drives by. And it sounds like I live in, like, the inner city and there's gunshots outside my window. When I don't, I live in the suburbs. I'm sure that was not a politically correct joke this day and age. Crap. Oh, by the way, this would be the room that the stopwatch is in. It would be, I have it so it's not going to show up, but I realized I waltzed right past it. It would be in, I think it's that candle right there that dropped the big heart is where the stopwatch is. we go. Cool. So we come into this room, and you'll see that this way is open. Now, this will take us to a new area, but we're going to ignore that for right now because we got the stopwatch, and we want to go up this way first. Whoops. And pretty much you have to use the stopwatch to open up that direction. And over here, we're going to get the Alucard shield. And no, that is not a typo. The Alucard mail and the Alucard sword. And basically what these do is they're like bootleg versions of your like ultimate equipment, which is the equipment you started the game with. And at first they suck. Like, it looks like they suck completely. Because, look, our base unarmed is 16 damage. With the Alucard sword equipped, we have, what, 18? That's barely anything. But if you equip all 3 pieces, you'll see you get a whopping plus 30 bonus for luck. So what this equipment it really is for farming items. That's when you use it. Alright, and now chances are this... Alright, this way we got super lucky. That did not close yet, so we can actually come up here, grab this life max up, go on to the next area. Welcome to Ulrox's quarters. Now, who is Ulrox? Ulrox is another vampire that works for Dracula, and Ulrox, so the name is actually a mistranslation based on the way it's spelled in Japanese. It's supposed to be Orlok, which is the name of the vampire from the movie Nosferatu, which was pretty much it's a very famous movie from the 1920s, 1921, I think. It's a silent film, and it's pretty much the novel Dracula. But they didn't have the rights to Dracula at the time, so they had to, what do you call it? They had to change, like, they literally changed the names of everybody, but it was the same novel. It was the same story. And I'm going to do a little soul steal here. And there was a lawsuit and everything. And they lost, obviously, because it pretty much was the same exact thing. But nowadays, Dracula is in the public domain. And so is Count Orlok from Nosferatu, I believe. I'm not positive on that one, actually. But I'm pretty sure that's in the public domain, too. So, technically it should be Orlok's quarters, because that's what they were naming him after. But, you know, one thing leads to another. Ulrox becomes his name in the U.S., and then, you know, now it's his name in Japan. That's just what the character is called. Now, these knights, you can just kind of go toe-to-toe with a lot of them. The hammer guy is the easiest to beat. You just get inside his minimum range and duck. He can't do anything about it. So if you come this way, you'll see that there's a thing that we can't get up to just yet. So we gotta come here. And we find a new portal with the goat. That'll allow us to teleport back here pretty easily. Oof. Ah, son of a bitch. Yeah, soul steal from him. Thank you. So yeah, this guy, just get inside his minimum range like that, can't really do anything about it. He's gonna backpedal on you, just keep whittling away at him. He can't get away. He's not good enough at this game. Alright, again, same thing as the first thing with this sword. This one's called a poltergeist, but the easiest way to take him out is honestly with soul steal. Plus, it'll get you back a wicked amount of health. And if you couldn't tell just then, I am from the East Coast, where we use wicked as an adjective, and wicked is actually a good thing when you use it as an adjective. So this is the actual area we wanted to get to, called the Coliseum. And you can do a whole bunch of fun stuff here. There's a whole bunch of cool things to get. But for now, we're going to keep going here. We're going to jump up. And this way. Whoops. Alright. So, let's see. Can I get the right jump height for this? Yes. Oh, okay. I'm hitting the wrong spot. So if you see over here, there is a kind of like a opening that you can get to. I actually think oh, okay. I have to use the hitbox in the back to do it. Can't actually go up there right now, so remember that spot for later. But I wanted to open it up so it reflects on the map, because I think that won't actually show up on the map until you pop it open. Alright, those Blade Masters, they get a little annoying, but that's alright. I would really like to play Curse of Darkness at some point. So that's going to go on the to-do list. Not probably right away, but in the near future. I'm going to take this sub-weapon just because the stopwatch, I don't really use it a lot. This is... I forgot what it's called, but it shoots lightning. But I need an enemy present to shoot it, because otherwise it just doesn't do anything. So, like, watch. See? Nothing there. But if I go up to this guy, it shoots lightning at him. Doesn't do really a lot of damage. Whoa. Yeah, so that guy, again, Soul Steel is your best friend in a lot of these areas. And pretty much we want to just explore the Coliseum. The Coliseum's a pretty easy place to explore. There's not a lot, like, very secretive about it. Be careful in this room, because this room kind of hurts. Again, Soul Steel is your best friend to take out these, I think they're called Valhalla Knights? I don't remember what they're called. Let's see if I can thunder him. There we go. Oh good, here's a hunting girl. Actually, what I'm gonna do real quick is I want to see if I can get her to drop the, what do you call it? The thing I want her to drop. And we don't have any equipable items over there just yet, so we'll have to keep our eye out for something. So while we explore this area, I'm going to have this equipped because I want to see if I can get her to drop the item that she drops. Because it's pretty useful. And don't worry, I'm not going to grind against her either. If she drops it, she drops it. If she don't drop it, she don't drop it. We just go on without it. Just a useful weapon to have. So now we'll drop down. There's more down here anyway. Got a nice critical hit. So yeah, because we have such a big bonus to luck, we will get a pretty good critical hit rate. Also, that big skeleton that we ran into, that's called a Paranthropus. And he's actually a pretty powerful enemy if you get hit by him. But also, he can drop a very powerful item that is a equipable accessory. And it only drops it after you've cleared the game one time. If you have not cleared the game at least once, instead of dropping that item, he will drop basically what's a sellable gem. He'll drop a turquoise. But if you've cleared the game one time, he'll drop a ring that you can equip. And it's really powerful. Over here we got the Blood Cloak. So the Blood Cloak, pretty much anytime you take damage, you get hearts from it. I'll show you. See? Alright, so let's go back up. I'm gonna take a little dip into the healing room here. Healing room, save room, same thing. Go explore down the other side.